Charles' argument, saying that we shouldn't give it to anybody. So we're just gonna ignore this one, and the Radical Democrats are gonna support medic citizenship for people who have owned, or not owned, but who have been here for generations. And then, like, the blood, like, the proposal of, like, being related to a fellow Athenian is still up for debate. But, like, right now, the proposed one, like, that we would vote for would be that medics and slaves should be granted citizenship for, like, being here for a long time. Get me?
Should write it down.
I mean, it's already written. It's like yeah, for those who fought and for those who've been here for generations.
Oh. Still bad.
But doesn't it make the law different? You know, because I said like those who fought, what if they've just been here? What if they got like a day before the war? You know, so that changes it. So you should just make one that says for like generations.
But then that would be two separate things. Like it would.
Well, it's two different things.
She needs to get out.
Nah, it's democracy.
You can if you want to.
Don't. I would say.
I'm not giving money.
Do it, yeah, I wanna see what you wanna say.
I would say to broaden citizenship to those who are either related to it.
God's punishing you for your humanity.
I'm an old man, how can you say this? My feet are not what they used to be.
We're broadening the proposal to grant citizenship to those who have either been living here for a long time, or to those who have fought the 30 tyrants, or to those who have paid their taxes. Because all three of those things prove that they are like fit to vote. Alright, let me go.
Good morning, my fellow Athenians. My name is Aristophanes, and I am a student of Socrates. It has come to my attention that our democratic system isn't defaulting. How exactly can you just let anyone join this assembly? Most Athenians, in my opinion, lack skills, knowledge, and discipline to discern the truth. You all get distracted by speakers' good looks and their jokes. They mask who they really are in order to appeal to you. We all have seen the previous terrible outcome of this assembly. Nothing positive has come out of the people who were chosen to make decisions. You see this clearly in the disastrous conduct during the war. Are you all forgetting how all these talented speakers came out of nowhere with full enthusiasm to urge our citizens to vote on saving Sicily? Then what exactly happened in Sicily? Take a second to remember that many, many men died. They lost their lives. They didn't make it back home to their family. They gave their lives to save a democracy run by the incompetent. Now I propose for a change, a huge change in which who gets accepted in the assembly. I suggest that the people who are inducted prove that they are skilled in mathematics, logic, and other mysteries. A good decision is based on knowledge and not numbers. There will be no end to the troubles of states or of humanity itself till philosophers become kings in this world, or till those who we now call kings and rulers really and truly become philosophers, and political power and philosophy thus come in hand. Rational political control is a path of good governance. Being educated will give us a chance to thrive as we will make better, more coherent decisions. When our citizens realize that they are being governed by people with knowledge, they then will reduce their distrust towards us.
When like you support your country, like you fight for it.
Patriotism.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, I realize that. But instead, I will call a medic to the. Let the medic speak.
Why is You don't go here.
Isn't she supposed to write down my proposal?
I think she's doing something like that with clean knowledge or whatever. You can get off the stage now, medic.
Now the medic has a stage.
Okay, quiet, Simon.
The cobbler.
Hello everyone, my name is Lysias and I'm here today to ask you to grant citizenship and political rights to medics like me who have served Athens and will continue to. Despite not being considered an Athenian citizen, I identify myself with this country and would do anything within my reach in order to help the country that I so love. And during the war, I did. When the tyrants began their attack, my brother and I began supplying our weapons to Thrasybules in order to help him defeat the tyrants. And he did. That's why you're here, and all of you are here, because we won. And even though many Athenians' lives were lost, I do believe that with my help, as well as the help of many other medics,
Simon.
there would have been many more lives lost. Just like all citizens, I know I deserve the right to vote and be a part of the assembly. I know that giving citizenship to medics will benefit this country into rebuilding it into the great country it was before it was attacked. Once again, I ask you to please take into consideration the loyalty we have given our country and ask to be given the rights I know I have worked so hard and deserve, and have earned and deserve.
Let the medic speak. So, I'm just gonna float my pants real quick. Okay. So in the Republic, Plato believes in specialization, that certain people are supposed to do certain jobs, that farmers should produce crops, that rulers should make laws, that warriors should obey orders. And he believes that philosophers, being like the most just and like balanced of individuals, should like be the rulers of the land. But his allegory of the cave says something different. Like, the allegory proves that no matter where you come from, there is knowledge to be learned, no matter like what your state of ignorance is. So, like, considering that, medics and slaves would be deemed worthy because they can learn. And just because they're capable of learning, they're also capable of participating in politics. So,
No, you're wrong.
is that your best argument?
Hold on, sorry.
Yeah,
So, yeah. That's my argument. And also, with half of our population being medics, and with many of them being here for so long, I would argue that their participation is not only, they're not only capable of participating, but they should be encouraged. And I would even argue that it's necessary, because who better to fight for justice and laws? Who better to fight for justice and laws than those that have been around for so long? They have paid taxes, they have fought for wars. Some have paid taxes, some have fought for wars. And these are the ones that we should recognize in our society. With that said, I call on Kepi Sophan. Kepi Sophan? I don't know.
She always do that.
They just catch my eye first. It's all coincidence. We have things. I'm very nearsighted, so.
Okay, so I would like to bring up a past discussion on whether medics and safes should be granted citizenship because if they were, they would have the right to vote and they would go on based on whatever their masters would say. But that's a contradiction because of the rumors that were spread that apparently like during the tyrant's attack, they would abandon ship, they would abandon Athens. And if that were true, then would it make sense that if they had the capability to go ahead and abandon Athens during the war, wouldn't it make sense that if there was a law that would be against the medics and the slaves, they would also abandon whatever their masters wanted them to work for? That makes sense?
No.
No.
So like let's say there's a law that says, oh, medics have to wear like 1,000 pounds on their back, you know? And so like their masters are like, okay, that's awesome, that's a great idea. And so the medics are like, no, let's not do that. They would go against whatever their masters wanted them to say. And if they were able to do that, it would be because of the fact that they were also able to do that during the tyrant's attack, which was abandon Athens. You know, they had the capability to abandon Athens, they would also have the capability to deny whatever their masters wanted them to say. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just thought I would bring that up because that's a contradiction.
I actually can't see my chica in the red over there.
Chica,
Yeah.
we're all men.
We're also not racist, but today we are. You should invest in a cane because you're gonna be standing for a long time.
You're good to get out, sir.
You would do this to an old man like me.
Sir, there is a seat right there just for you.
No, I will wait.
We're all men here.
Following his argument and contradicting yours, wouldn't it show poor leadership skills if your slaves and your medics went against your wishes? Wouldn't it be poor leadership skills? Why would you be here? If you show no skills into being a leader, you have no reason being here in this argument.
Wait. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. Just remember, all these medics, these slaves, don't forget the ones that laid their lives for you. If they cared not about its citizens and its city, why would they have done that? Majority of the medics and the slaves stayed behind to protect you all. You would not be here to be talking. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Did you want to see?
I'm fine.
You would not all be here. If you had not, majority of them had been off in the war, dying, losing their limbs. Even though many of them left, do not forget many Athenians hid. They were hidden in their houses. They were not off in war. Many of them, do not forget those worthy ones. Do not forget the ones that laid their lives for you. That's what I'm arguing for the ones that are worthy for their citizenship. The ones that are worthy for their rights to be in this city and to be considered for having their, so they can have their voices heard for the city that they defended with their lives.
Should have damn nipple. What's your name? What's your name? Damn nipple. We're like.
Oh.
I can say it.
Wait, real quick, President, I have a question just for clarification. Is there a proposal for all medics, or right now is it just medics with conditions?
It initially was all medics, but some people are very closed-minded. So we're compromising for them to have one of these things.
Okay, just wondering.
But you can also debate, like, they should have all of these things.
May I now speak to President?
Yes, you can.
And President, I must say, your speech was amazing. By what author were you referencing?
Plato.
Plato, isn't that a student of Socrates? Too young to enter the political courts or to even write. Isn't that not true?
True.
Ah, you are a
One
great
would
seer.
argue.
You are a great seer into things that have not come. Also, I must call on Lysias. Great speech as well. I congratulate you on serving our great city. But I must ask you, under who did you serve? And not Athens?
Are they not,
Exactly.
are they not loyal to Athens?
They seem to be loyal to Thesibulus. And also, Lycon, are you not a Thesibulian?
Yes.
It seems that it must be, coincidental that majority of their speakers have gone before all these who have waited their time, even myself, and I waited patiently.
Yeah.
But isn't this a democracy where everyone gets a voice, not just who is favored?
Everyone gets a voice, but some can speak before others.
Isn't that bias?
Yes, it is.
So how can this be truly a democracy if some people are favored over others?
Wait, you're arguing? Yeah.
So much for a Democrat.
The person who doesn't want medics and slaves to vote is arguing that I'm not being democratic by fighting for medics and slaves to vote.
But isn't your faction the democratic people? I would expect, this is not something I would expect of you, especially of your people.
Why should we trust you?
Exactly.
Why should
If you're
we-
just
why
gonna
should we
favor
trust you?
yourself.
You want to get votes.
And also favor those who serve Thrasybulus. But, in any case, we must say that Athens, do you not enjoy your assembly? Is it not a great place to come to discuss matters like this? Because I enjoy discussing with Thrasybulians
Hurry up.
and my fellow aristocrats. But, this is one of our accomplishments of Athens. This is something that we hold dear to. And I wish not to be disturbed. However, just because removal of a vote does not mean removal of a voice. Because look at Solon. Have we not forgotten him in this constitution that placed us in different categories? Yes, those in the lesser ranks could not vote, but they could still have their voice heard, especially by maybe their own masters who see that, theirs themselves are being acquitted by. So from their master's voice, they can get their own opinions put out there. I must say, Athenians, this is a time where we must gather ourselves and solidify ourselves and not bring us into such turmoil, such as this, not so much bickering, but solidify. Because here I stand, I can do no other but suggest that our votes must be of those tax-paying citizens. The issues may come from anyone, may come from a medic like Lysias, and I would gladly hear your voice in our assembly, so that way we may vote on your issues. But those who vote, those who put out their votes into our assembly, must be those who stayed here for generations, such as I have. It must be those who have permanent land settlements here, who depend on their lives for this
Athenians
place.
for Athenians.
Athenians for
Yes!
Athenians.
Woo!
Exactly. So I will say again, here I stand. I can do no other.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but we only have like 10 minutes left. So we just need to remember that we cannot depend on slave owners and landowners to represent their slaves and medics. They need to represent themselves. So keeping that in mind, y'all can vote.
Well,
You can
what
also talk like while we vote.
we're- President, what we're thinking is let people speak and we'll vote at the next class.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just make sure everybody can speak who wants to speak.
Let's see if I can actually get this thing stand up. I meant it all out of shape. Okay. Hello, my fellow Athenians. My name is Herodion, and I have quite a few things to say because I am here as an indeterminate. I have no ties to any party, and I can see clearly the faults in many of your arguments. You say that you want your voices heard, that you don't like how other people get to speak before you, and yet you are demanding that these people do not have their own voices themselves.
Yeah.
What a contradiction that you
would say that you get to talk and other people can't, but if you don't get to talk, then you're angry. We call them the cowards that ran away from the war. Well, you wanted their loyalty, but you're not loyal to them. How can you ask for them to fight for you when you won't stand up for them? You remind them that they're not part of this country. They're not part of this city. They're not anything to do with us. And then when they run away because they've been reminded constantly that they don't deserve anything from us, why would they be loyal to us? If we are not going to give them anything on their own that they have been working for, that they have lived here with and put up with, and then we complain for them. So I'm saying that if we want them to do anything for us, why would we not sacrifice anything for them? If you say that their voices would drown out the logic, or they'd thin everything out, and we'd lose our, what would it be called? We'd lose our own strength of logic, that we would be weaker on ourselves. Wouldn't that just be dissing your own logic, that you couldn't argue and prove your own points to them and prove them and correct them? I'm sorry, I was sitting at your table, but I wasn't liking anything that you were saying.
What do I? Sorry.
You clearly aren't waiting. You clearly have enough to say without your turn being given.
Okay.
My fellow Athenians, the question before us today is whether medics should be granted citizenship. And as an Athenian citizen, I speak my mind clearly and brilliantly. Therefore, I must speak truth and remind you all that the chief enemy of democracy is ignorance. And is that not what we are doing right now? Is there a way we can find compromise? In hearing your speeches, I've noticed that many of you have used rhetorical mistakes, such as hasty generalizations towards our fellow medics. Many of you claim that all medics would be the first to leave the city of Athens and pack their bags, but that is far from the truth. Like Lysias mentioned, during war, I supplied weapons to defeat the tyrants, which is why we are still here. So why not grant our medics citizenship?
After waiting so long,
Simon.
You're the man. So my name, probably the best name, the most simplest name out of everyone here, Simon. The cobbler. You know what a cobbler does? Make shoes.
Calm down.
I make better shoes.
I've been alive longer. I'm sure my shoes are better.
Okay, so yeah, I disagree with generalizations about medics, right? Medics are great people. They are merchants. They do things. My best friend, Socrates, my homie, is a medic. But never does he want citizenship. And someone said that, oh, citizenship gives medics a voice. Socrates probably has the biggest voice in all of Athens. I'm probably his greatest follower. He influences so many people. You don't need to be a citizen in order to influence people. I respect medics, but you don't have to be a citizen in order to do things around here. And slaves, I only own one slave. I help him so much, making shoes and stuff. And I love him. He's a great guy. And we don't treat them bad. We don't treat them wrong. I don't know why they just run away when people are invaded. It's like, hey, come back. I feed you. I am paying them, right? Because I put food on their plate. But everyone's Athenian here, right? Do you like the rush of blood, Athenian blood flowing through you? I'm not like, oh no medics at all. I'm for blood, right? If you're half Athenian, like you got the Athenian blood in you, you would be great because you care about this nation. You love this nation because of your blood. If you're not from here, you shouldn't partake in the way things go around.
What if they're not from there, but they show up a lot of patriotism, that they give their lives for Athens, even if they're not from Athens?
Well, like I said, medics are great people, but because you're not from here, you shouldn't have anything to do with the government and all that. Because we're thinking of posterity. We're thinking of our children. Medic's children, they can move somewhere else.
But what if they haven't? What if they've been here for generations?
What
Proving
if
that
they
they
stay?
won't leave.
What if they're here for life? What if basically they have no Athenian blood in them, but they've been here for generations and they've been medics their whole lives? The whole generations were medics.
Dock up for medics.
Not good. Well, I don't know, if you've been here for generations, you're bound to have some Athenian blood, so that goes back to blood. But generations, no, like you're still not Athenian, because I'm still thinking like posterity-wise. Athens for Athens. And you also brought up a point about how like, oh, the pursuit of knowledge, Socrates, Plato, and slaves and medics have proven themselves to be just as capable because they're able to grasp knowledge.
If not better.
Hold on. Anyone is able to grasp knowledge. If they're willing to look for it, they're going to find it. And when I first met Socrates, he would always refer to me as the wise shoemaker. I like that. and that I was born for shoemaking. That's just, I was born for that. I can't be something else. I'm always gonna be a shoemaker because I love it. It's my talent. I'm just good at that. And anyone can look out for knowledge, regardless of whether they're a citizen or not. I don't know why these Democrats put citizenship at such a high altar. You don't have to be a citizen in order to actually do things around here.
But that's what you
I'm
You finish your 5 months or not?
It's 5 after when class officially ends, right?
Yes.
What would you like us to vote on?
It's up to the
So I don't know, I feel like this might be too broad, so I was wondering if I could get some feedback. Like, should I just limit it to blood? Alrighty.
What's the proposal?
Yes.
Would that include Lysias? Say something.
President, I object just by blood. That would discriminate against those metrics that have invested in our city.
So patriots.
So patriots, I would say patriotism.
That seems reasonable.
But is it blood relations or patriotism?
And.
Alright. Alright, I think we found a good compromise.
Okay, so the proposed
What
vote?
was for?
Wait, real quick, sorry.
Whatever.
Wouldn't it be easier to say, instead of patriotism, like generations? Because like, if they've stayed for generations, that shows patriotism?
No, because he
They
lived
fought during the war. Patriotism is having
during the
fought.
war, yeah.
And then the jurors thing, we didn't really.
Wait, if you put the word "and" in there, that means that the only people that do get citizenship have to have blood relations and patriotism as their only options. You should make it an "or" so that the people aren't this littler niche.
Does anybody object to that?
Or.
Or side.
Yeah,
or. Blood
And
relations or
or.
patriotism.
Y'all better be
And
voting.
There's just a leeway there.
Green is for? I don't know.
The best speech. What was that thing, huh? Yeah.
But some are.
Always somebody to say, well, you know,
So now it's someone else.
patriotism.
Alright, y'all can.
Okay, well, it's more.
What's the green for? Green is for, and blue is against.
Okay, I need the motion. Green. You disagree, blue. Did it feel bad? No, we don't care. Should we give it? more extra votes,
What?
300 or more extra votes,
Did I?
come to me and get extra marbles.
Sorry.
300.
Oh, me, I have one.
So probably when it's dead.
Which I think Athens is going to be again. Yeah, 300 or more extra votes, you get an extra. Remember to leave your name pads on the front table.
Yeah, so what's his name?